Hello guys, welcome back to Cinefluence. Today as an encomium to James Cameron, we are going to rank his top 5 movies, as it is his day of inception today. At number 5 we have Avatar starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver and Michelle Rodriguez. After being out of the public ocular perceiver since Titanic 1997, his comeback film Avatar proves to accommodate him right. Way forward in the future, a crippled Marine Sam Worthington becomes a part of an experiment. When he is hooked up to machine, it can put his mind and soul in the body of a 8-foot-tall blue alien, and has to go undercover on their planet to get some of their resources, but things change when he falls in love with one of the alien warriors, Zoe Saldana. An enthralling environment is set up, with astounding attention to details. Some scenes are authentically hypnotizing, albeit the plot is not the most pristine and scarcely prognosticable, it's still profoundly intriguing. Emotionally engaging. You care about the characters, their lives, their habit, the flora and fauna, etc. This film is quite a masterpiece. It's mind-blowing in any effects and storytelling ever. Sam Worthington, who glommed last year's Terminator salvation from a cranky Christian Bale, authentically does well here. So does Zoe Saldana and Sigourney Weaver. A great comeback for James Cameron. This movie has won 3 Oscars for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography and Best Visual Effects. The IMDB rating of the film is 7.8. At number 4 we have Titanic starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Billy Zane and Kathy Bates. Titanic is a 1997 epic romance and disaster film directed, inscribed, co-engendered, and co-edited by James Cameron. The film was, at the time, the most extravagant film ever made, with an estimated budget of $200 million. It more than recouped this cost, however, with an ecumenical gross of over $1.8 billion, the first film to break the billion-dollar mark, making it the highest-grossing film of all time, a record it held for 12 years before Cameron's next directorial effort, Avatar, surpassed it in 2010. James Cameron's Titanic shares a kindred motto to Marmite: you either love it or hate it. I for one love this film. Yes, I know it's got a drawn-out romance story, but there's just something about the 3-hour fill of the film that makes it such a spectacularly emotional and beautiful. I optically discerned this a lot when I was growing up. This was one of the films of my childhood. It is genuinely a pursuantly resonant and visually stunning movie of epic proportions. Victor of 11 Oscars, James Cameron's romantic disaster epic is a triumph of cinema that gasconades perfect chemistry between Kate and Leo as the lovers bound for tragedy. Many people disregard this film nowadays solely because it's become the most popular film ever made alongside Cameron's other epic Avatar, and whilst Titanic is one of my favorite films, it's just so pursuantly astonishing and no doubt at all it has once brought a tear to everyone's ocular perceivers. The main aspect I profoundly relish in this film is James Horner's haunting score that was a key ingredient in the film's prosperity. It is simply impeccable. Nonetheless, Titanic is a modern classic and a resplendently spectacular film that will live on. The IMDb rating of the movie is 7.8. At number 3 we have The Terminator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Michael Biehn, and Paul Winfield. Dissimulated as a human, a cyborg assassin and as a Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger peregrinates from 2029 to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton. Sent to forfend Sarah is Kyle Reese, Michael Biehn, who divulges the advent of Skynet, an artificial perspicacity system that will spark a nuclear holocaust. Sarah is targeted because Skynet kens that her unborn son will lead the fight against them. With the virtually unceasable Terminator in sultry pursuit, she and Kyle endeavor to elude. This film is simply flabbergasting. The plot is well designed and the viewer can optically discern the noetic conceptions of the main protagonists. Moreover, the movie is suspenseful, the score fits very well and the actors are just brilliant. Schwarzenegger was the impeccable one for this role because of his physique, his charisma and his presence. Albeit the film was made in 1983, the special effects are astounding. Beyond that, the story gives you victuals for thought concerning robots and artificial astuteness. It's definitely a must-watch to verbally express the least, and I do believe it deserves the denomination of masterpiece. This is a pillar of sci-fi itself and it has inspired a plethora of other movies and there are numerous references to it in every cinema genre. It has an IMDb rating of 8.0. At number 2 we have Aliens starring Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Carrie Henn and Paul Reiser. The storyline goes as 57 years after Ellen Ripley had a close encounter with the reptilian alien creature from the first movie. She is called back, this time, to help a group of highly trained colonial marines fight off against the sinister extraterrestrials. But this time, The aliens have taken over a space colony on the moon LV-426. When the colonial marines are called upon to search the deserted space colony, they later find out that they are up against more than what they bargained for. Using specially modified machine guns and enough firepower, it's either fight or die as the Space Marines battle against the aliens. As the Marines do their best to defend themselves, Ripley must attempt to protect a young girl, who is the sole survivor of the nearly wiped-out space colony. It's blaster action, not gothic future horror. Auspiciously, director-screenwriter James Cameron has shaped his film around the defiant perspicacity and sensual athleticism of Weaver, and that's where Aliens works best out as chewing the claustrophobic foreboding of Alien. Cameron takes all the anxieties and fears that had been built in the pristine, and refracts it through his action movie sensibilities, to engender a keenly intellective action thriller. The IMDb rating of the movie is 8.3. So to the finale at number 1 we have Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Terminator 2, Judgment Day is genuinely an example of how sequels can be better than the pristine. Here we are given more action, more special effects, more intriguing characters, and a better Terminator. It is genuinely a special and crowning achievement for director/engenderer/inscriber James Cameron. It's a film that kens how to make action sequences exhilarating and how to integrate some humor into them. That's something you don't get very often. I'll admit that the first movie was great, but it's mediocre compared to the greatness of T2. The movie's key prosperity is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Never will there be an actor who will do a better job as the Terminator, for Arnold does it so impeccably that you celebrate of him as a machine and not just an actor. I'll additionally admit that the miscreant is additionally a key role in the movie. Robert Patrick plays his role with lots of potential and you authentically care that he's in the movie, albeit he's a reprobate. There's additionally Linda Hamilton. She returns to her same old role as in the first movie, Sarah Connor. In the first movie, she just seemed homogeneous to a mundane person who's being chased by a killer machine. Here, she's a tough and keenly intellective character that never bores you and always keeps you fascinated when she's on the screen. Then there's the action and special effects. Outstanding, just outstanding. The film was made in the early 90s, and the effects are genuinely this good? It just astounds me how Cameron kens how to put these great characters in these exhilarating action sequences. Overall to say this is a really great movie and highest IMDb rated of the movies of James Cameron. The IMDb rating of the movie is 8.5.